Hi, I'm Attorney Ben Schwartz. Today I'm going to give you a brief overview on Delaware medical malpractice cases. Our main office is in Dover, Delaware. We have offices in Wilmington, Delaware, Dagsboro, Delaware, as well as Bethany Beach, Delaware. I think I can safely say that we have the entire state of Delaware covered when it comes to medical malpractice cases. We also oftentimes meet our clients and their families in hospital settings, so it's not uncommon for us to go out and visit someone at Christiana Hospital, Wilmington Hospital, St. Francis Hospital. I've recently been to Dover, to Kent General Hospital in Dover, to Milford Memorial Hospital. Not too long ago, I was at Beebe Hospital, and I've even been to Nanticoke Hospital down in Sussex County once or twice. We make home visits, we make visits to people in rehab facilities. It's really not uncommon, and so I confidently tell you we've got the entire state of Delaware covered. What type of injuries occur in medical malpractice cases? For every doctor, for every nurse, for every procedure, for every medication, there's some way that a mistake can be made if the provider is not paying close attention and being scrupulous in their work. Carelessness is a human quality, unfortunately, and it is an all too human quality in the medical arena. Oftentimes, the cases that we handle are significant, catastrophic, life-changing injury cases and wrongful death cases. Those are really the types of cases that we see in medical malpractice situations. We also see some very common types of case where, let's say, the case of a retained surgical instrument where the surgeon leaves an instrument or something, a sponge, in the body after he or she closes the surgical site. We see OR explosions. For example, you'll see cases where the patient is tented and they're being administered oxygen, and at the same time the surgeon is using what's called an electric artery device, and the spark from the electric artery device lights off an explosion with the tented oxygen. That's something that we've seen multiple times. Another type of case that we not uncommonly see will be a wrong site, wrong patient, wrong surgery type of case. For example, a woman goes in, delivers a baby, and while the doctor has the patient under general anesthesia, does a tubal ligation, even though the patient never requested a tubal ligation and wasn't consented because the doctor mixed up that patient with a different patient. Wrong site surgeries are not terribly uncommon. For example, you'll see a surgery where the patient went in for right knee total replacement and came out with a left knee total replacement. That's a medical mistake. It's a surgical mistake called a wrong site surgery. We see a lot of different types of surgical mistakes. We see hospital errors. Another example would be, medication errors. I'll give you an example of a medication error. Let's say you've got a patient, you look at the chart, there's precautions stating that the patient is allergic to sulfa drugs, yet the doctor prescribes a sulfa drug, the pharmacist fills it, the nurse administers it, and the patient has a terrible outcome. That is a perfect example of a medication error. Another type of medication error that we've seen recently is a Levaquin injury. The patient goes to a walk-in clinic, is prescribed Levaquin for bronchitis. Unfortunately, the doctor does not take an adequate history from the patient to find out that they're also on oral steroids. The Levaquin and the oral steroids are contraindicated, and when you have Levaquin with an oral steroid, sometimes it causes tendon injuries, and in this patient, both Achilles tendons were ruptured as a result of this medication. That's a perfect example of a medication error. How much does it cost to talk to a Delaware medical malpractice attorney? In these types of cases, Delaware medical malpractice cases, our attorneys provide free consultations, meaning that when you meet with the attorney, you're not paying a consultation fee to learn about how the case will work, to learn about your legal rights, and to find out what to expect. It's a free consultation. Are there any special requirements to file a medical malpractice case in Delaware? Yes, there are. If you don't get anything out of watching this video except for one thing, mark my words, write it down, stick it in the back of your mind. If you have a Delaware medical malpractice case, the most important thing to do is to get to an attorney ASAP. The reason for this is because there is a special requirement called the Affidavit of Merit. To file a Delaware medical malpractice case, you have to have an affidavit from a medical practitioner stating that the defendant acted in a negligent manner causing injuries. That's not something that's easy to get. It's something where we as the law firm, we as the attorneys have to go out and find a medical practitioner who's qualified to give that opinion and who's willing to give that opinion, and get the affidavit from them and include it with the lawsuit papers when we file the medical malpractice lawsuit in the state of Delaware. The other thing to keep in mind in terms of special requirements is that generally Delaware has a 2-year statute of limitations that runs from the date of the negligent act or omission, not from the date when you discovered it. And so the Delaware statute of limitations can be very short. There are some exceptions to that 2-year statute of limitations. I'm not going to get into them on video. It's something we can talk about if you come into the office and have a consultation about a Delaware medical malpractice case, or if you're an attorney watching this and you want to find out more, send me an email. It's something we can converse about if you're an attorney working on a Delaware medical malpractice case. Maybe it's something I can help you with. But these special requirements, the short 2-year statute of limitations, the Affidavit of Merit requirement, exist in Delaware medical malpractice cases, and they make it very important that you get a qualified attorney on board ASAP. Final question: are there caps on damages in Delaware medical malpractice cases? You know, I practice in several states. In some states, there are caps on general damages. For example, I practice in the state of Maryland, and Maryland has a cap, but Delaware does not. And so you should be very aware, if you are the plaintiff or a defendant in a Delaware medical malpractice case, that there are no caps on damages in the state. Thanks for watching. Hope this answered any questions you may have about Delaware medical malpractice cases. If you have questions, please complete the contact form on this page on our website, or send me an email. My name is Ben Schwartz. My email address is ben.schwartz@schwartzandschwartz.com.